Hey everybody! Welcome to week 4 of our English 30/20 online course. In this week's video, I just want to hit some high points. I want to talk through a bit of an update about where you should be in terms of your Project 2. And I also want to give a quick hitting of the highlights for this week's readings, just so that you know the main points that you for sure should kind of walk away with from those readings. All right, so I'm just going to switch right over to our Canvas view and we'll get right to it. Okay, so first things first, here we are in week 4. And when we look at our overview, there are a few key things to take note of. One is that you should be watching both your week 4 instructor video, which you're already doing, high five, and I have this quick TED Talk in which the demonstration of racism that can be contained within writing is made clear, especially using newspaper headlines or news headlines. And I think that's going to give us a little bit of a nice crossover between a couple of our readings for the week. So take a look at that, and then we have 4 readings. Don't be scared. A couple of them are more pragmatic, and a couple of them are going to be a little more theoretically challenging. And then just regular assignments in terms of writing your reflection journal, number 4, and your week 5 discussion. So if you can kind of spread those out across the week, it doesn't, again, have to look exactly like the schedule that I'm suggesting here, but this, I'm hoping, will help you kind of break things down in a manner that will make it more manageable for you. When it comes to the readings, I did want to just sort of point out a couple of things. So first of all, this first reading is a study that I'm hoping will be useful to you in terms of your Project 2 work, because it is going to literally give you an example of a rhetorical analysis of nonprofit Twitter posts. So this is a really great, you don't have to do things exactly the same way that are outlined in this study, but this is going to show you what it looks like to do rhetorical analysis in a scholarly way on nonprofit social media, if that makes sense. Okay, so definitely take a look at that in terms of your Project 2. Now, these next ones, the Gutierrez Morales Martinez is going to be presenting us with a little bit of a challenge, because it's going to be addressing some of the issues of what's called the deficit model within literacy education. And they are going to present some implications for the ways that we think about literacy, especially in communities that are other than us, or that are traditionally looked at as at risk, so to speak. Then we have this great piece. It's becoming a seminal piece, actually, Krista Ratcliffe's Rhetorical Listening. This was a piece posted, probably a couple decades ago now, but in it, Krista Ratcliffe outlines her approach, which she calls rhetorical listening, and she presents it as a way to bridge difference. So this is something that I wanted everyone to read so that you could have the concept of rhetorical listening in your back pocket as a tutor as you go into your time working for St. Vincent Sarah Fisher. And then last but not least, we have this chapter from a book partially edited by Anne Ellen Geller, and this is talking about a writing center, and it's talking about racism, both felt by potential tutees, but also specifically in this case, felt by tutors. And I just wanted us to think about this, because the racism that can be so inherent in everyday interactions in society don't just go away when we enter an educational setting. And it's up to us to really purposefully bring our attention to those underlying biases on either side of the table and try to expose them and be transparent about them so that we can move forward out of those biases. So some of the stuff that you're going to encounter in these readings, it may or may not be challenging to you. And if it is challenging to you, I would just encourage you to be as open as you can to challenging yourself. Maybe you're a person who doesn't think that racism is a problem for you, but I want you to really pause and re-examine your own behaviors and your own biases, right? Like, this is part of what we were trying to get at when we were writing our position statements, is that we want to be even more aware, because we're going into tutoring experiences where there is a very real power dynamic, and sometimes that can lead to the furthering of implicit biases or not. And we hope for us it's the latter. Okay. So take it easy, take your time through these readings. Definitely make sure that you're posting your discussions for these readings a little bit earlier than just on Sunday night, because you want to give everyone a chance to be responding thoroughly to each other. Okay, I think that's everything I have for you right now. I'm going to pull back to the full view and close out this video. Okay. If you have any questions about anything I presented in this video, please feel free to email me, or of course, you can contact Kat, your peer mentor. Additionally, just make sure that everybody is on track with your observations, because we're trying to get everybody ready to fully tutor or do note-taking for tutoring by next week. That's not a hard and fast rule, but we just want to make sure that you guys have plenty of time to get all your tutoring hours in. Okay? I'll see you in next week's video. Bye, everyone.